Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy ActionFiggySkinny. Peace, 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 peace. Today we have another little review slash history on our man here, the X-Men 97, Lucas Bishop. I love Bishop. Me personally, I have a history with this character, as he was one of the three characters that was first introduced to me when I was first introduced to X-Men. Like, it was him, Gambit, Wolverine. My parents got me those three figures from those old 90s figs from X-Men. They got me those and Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. That's what I got for Christmas one year. They were supposed to get me Power Rangers. They showed up with X-Men. Let me tell you, that sent me on a journey, wild journey, some like 30 years deep of just loving everything X-Men. And I'm going to share that with y'all today. Starting with Bishop, our man, who I believe he went home in the series. Like, he went back to his time in the X-Men series, and he wasn't really at the end when Professor X passed. So if he's back, you know that some ill shit went down in the future, and he came back to possibly try to rectify and make sure that don't go down. So I'm here to talk to y'all about his history, and I'm here to talk to y'all about what he got up to in the comics after that whole traitor storyline that they were kind of pushing slash adapting from the comic books. And I'm here to speculate and give y'all some some of my thoughts on the boy Bishop. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into this guy. This figure first. Let's get into this figure first. Let's talk about this figure. This guy, he is, on a newish body. I like his deco compared to the original joint with the long hair. You know what I mean? He comes with two, like a fisted hand and like an open hand. So the fisted hand you can see right there. I'm actually gonna get myself a little pointer so y'all can see that better without me, pointing my finger all in there. That's kind of bad. Yeah, so he's got like this fisted joint. Oh, my finger's still in the way. Psh, forget that. He's got the fisted joint on his, that is his right hand. He has a trigger finger on his left hand. He comes with these open hands here that you can see if you focus on it. There you go. Or a trigger finger. There it is. Trigger finger. And then this open hand. All to say, dope figure. Very, very nice fig. The articulation is nice. I personally love the head sculpt. At first, I didn't really love this fig. I also thought like the chest was too like bulky. But then over time, and after seeing it again and again, it grew on me. Seeing more of the show, it grew on me. And yeah, it kind of found a place amongst my shelved figs. So yeah. Next we're going to get into a bit of articulation. And then we're going to do a comparison with him and the other Bishop that we got previously. Now, what I like about this fig is that his accessories is very show accurate. This gun is very, 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 like, to the T of what his gun in the show looked like. You know what I mean? And it's cool that they give you such a big holster on the back. But it fits right in there. My only gripe is that it's like the plastic is very, very bendy. So it's kind of easy to bend. But it also fits in his hand way easier. Another love about this figure is that obviously I'm not a man who like loves or cares for pinless like that. I don't give a really, like, I don't care about pinless like that. But on this particular figure, the pinless really, really helps it. And my only kind of gripe, but this torso is a little thick, but it is smooth. He doesn't really get down too much. You know what I mean? Kind of just standard. Doesn't get back too much, but that's a standard human back. We're not really crunching and kissing our knees over here, so that's cool. And everything's smooth. The knees are nice. That looks good. It doesn't break up anything. They continued the paint through the knee here, which is a very cool detail, and I didn't think they'd do that. Well, actually, no, they just made that joint there, the yellow, so that it would blend in on that side. Very cool. Yeah. Very nice. I like the way he looks. I like the way he loses. He looks really cool. let's get into comparing him with the older Marvel Legend Bishop from the from the Sauron wave. So Bishop here, he has a complicated history with the X-Men. Sometimes he's with them, sometimes he's against them, sometimes him and Cable have a whole complicated situation. Sometimes they're the best of friends, sometimes they're hunting each other. It gets kind of nuts with Bishop. He first appeared in X-Men, Uncanny X-Men number 282, looking like this. Like beefed out. He was a commander of the XSE, which is the Xavier Strike Enforcers or Security Enforcement. Yeah, Security Enforcer team, XSE. And they were a badass bunch of security / cops that were mutants out in the future. He comes from a dystopian future where mad horrible things happen to humans and mutants alike. Sentinels basically took over and said, none of y'all are fit to run this shit. We're gonna take over and handle everything right now. You humans can go over there. You mutants, y'all can stay in concentration camps, which is where my man Bishop was raised and kind of not so much born, but just mostly raised. His younger sister Shard, we'll cover her later. She was more or less born in there, both raised by their grandparents. Parents were killed on some devastation type shit. It was really messed up. He's actually of Aboriginal Australian descent, raised in Brooklyn, but so he's like one of them, like, yeah, he's a brother from Australia. It's pretty cool. Yeah, during his tenure on the X-Men, he first came through looking for Trevor Fitzroy. He escaped prison in the future, humped back to in the past. Then he started rambling on about something about a traitor in his future that caused a whole mad muggery of craziness that really, really messed up, mutants and mutant kind. I imagine he's, most people think he's talking about Gambit. I wonder if they'll use that. Oh, wow, that'd be cool. Hold on. I wonder if they're actually going to use that to kind of get into Mutant Massacre, because it was kind of Gambit that tipped off Sinister about the people down there, the Morlocks in the sewers. And then, yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. I will actually re-edit this and fix that. But, yeah, Gambit, Bishop's had a really pseudo complicated, tenure with the team. He was on there for quite a bit in the 90s, and then Age of Apocalypse happened, and he was like a key figure in that because he was the only one that like remembered, and he was like, nah, this ain't right. None of this is right. This is not supposed to how this is supposed to go. I'm already out of time, and this is way out of time. Like, this don't make no kind of sense. So Bishop was really, really cool in that story. And then after M-Day happened and Hope Summers emerged, and Messiah Complex and all that, then there was a wild time where like Bishop was hunting Cable and Hope Summers through time and and all sorts of, and like he got his arms cut off, and it was like, it's really wild. It's super, 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 super wild, but it's also kind of great. Now he's back on the X-Men. Him and Cable are kind of getting along. During the whole Fall of X type story, they're kind of running wild and doing all sorts of commando shit. Cable showing how Bishop, how he's managed to put money back in the 1800s and come back into the future and have that money double and triple. And Bishop's like, I do not have that kind of access because of the color of my skin. It's not said, but if you know, you know, if you know what I'm saying. This Bishop right here compared to the Bishop over there, right? To me, I prefer this coloration, but more or less because if you look at the scars, there's like a little bit more detail in this. Oh, I'm gonna move his gun down so y'all can actually see what the hell I'm talking about. There you go. So if you look at his scarf, there's more of like a detail, and it's reddish, where this is like a more of an orange. If that was more red, then I'd be kind of happier with it if it was more of a red, but it's not. And it's to me, I just don't love how the 97 Bishop, they had everything right. They got the red on the X proper, they got all that proper, but they just needed to, Just make that a little bit more red. Also, the yellow on this Bishop, the comic book version will go with, and this is a cartoon. So comic book version of Bishop, the yellow, quote unquote yellow, is more of an orangey sun yellow. This is a brightish Big Bird yellow. I prefer this, but that's only because this more or less colorway was to match all the other X-Men from the comics that came out with him. That is like the Wolverine, the Cyclops at the time, Jean Grey from the 3-pack matches them. I believe a Storm matches them. Rogue, the very first released Rogue matches, all the same orangey colorway. This Bishop is to more or less go with the 97s, and actually they go with the later released retro cards and also 2-packs. So then there was a Cyclops and Wolverine from the Love Triangle 2-pack that had the brighter yellow. There was a Storm on the retro card that had a brighter yellow. Jubilee definitely had a brighter yellow that matches this. There was also the Beast on the retro card, whose belt was more of a brighter yellow that matched this. The newer Rogue that came out on the retro card, she's a brighter yellow that matches this yellow. So Hasbro did that on purpose, so that if you couldn't find him, or if you just got other sets of X-Men, they would be, matched by their yellows and colorways. They usually have a brighter blue on the more cartoonish look, and of a darker, more gritty look on the comic book set. I'm not exactly sure if they planned on doing a whole look of like VHS / cartoon look of X-Men before they pivoted all the way to 97, because I feel like that's what they did. They started off with like a lot of 97 box sets. They did like, I think, Jubilee, Jean Grey, and then the 4. So they did 6 X-Men and then 3 villains. Sinister, Mystique, and who was the other villain? Sinister, Mystique. No, sorry. Yeah, 3 and 2 villains. And they're all in that kind of brighter color set. So I'm wondering if this is just like a plan of theirs, that they pivoted to 97 because they thought 97 was getting some popularity. I'm telling you, Wave 2 of the X-Men 97 just hit where I'm at, and I'm very much excited for my Goblin Queen. I got 2 because I'm possibly going to repaint her like in a classic comic book look with like the whole bikini, but we shall see. All to say, this fig, in comparison, they look good together. They both have their own stylistic. This one's on an older body, this is on a new body. There's pins, no pins, bigger gun, show accurate gun. I'm cool with both. I love both. Some people I see putting this head on this body, I'm not so down with that. I kind of feel like this look is, you know what I mean? Like, it just looks better over here. So I'm going to just keep them the way they are. Keep them original. Keep it nice. And keep it pushing. Always pushing that P over here on ActionFiggySkinny's channel. You know? That positivity. So, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and end this video by asking y'all, in terms of X-Men content, I plan on doing a coverage of what exactly happened in the Muir Island saga, which is essentially the story and kind of conflict right before the X-Men were band together back completely, with X Factor rejoining, and then the team splitting off into Blue Team and Gold Team. I feel like everybody, as I've mentioned before, everybody loves Jim Lee's era. And the Jim Lee's era actually starts around X-Men 275-ish, and maybe an issue before that. But, as they call it, the Jim Lee era. But what led up to that was a lot cooler, in my opinion. So, in any case, let me know in the comments if you'd like to see, some more of that content. I'm going to be doing a lot of X-Men content, and then eventually Avengers content. And I have a lot of figures, so I'm going to just be doing content, all of them, based on their history, and the history that I know of them. And I'm going to try and keep this fresh and original. I don't do the scripted thing so much, because I just feel like you don't get those quick quips, those funny jokes that you kind of tend to get from me. I know I'm a funny guy a little bit, so I want to be able to deliver that to you. And when I learn to write scripts, then you'll be getting that. But until then, this is what you're going to get. The raw and uncut Action Figgy Skinny. If you like this video, and you stayed to the end, which I appreciate you if you did, please go ahead and click on that subscribe button. Share this, tell your friends. click that notification bell so you do not miss any one of my videos. And you're probably going to see these videos getting better and improving as they go, because that's what we do as humans. We improve as we go. Nobody's perfect out the gate. So if you've joined this journey, I appreciate you. If you'd like to support your boy, because, you know, sometimes everybody just needs a little extra supportsies and so on and so forth. And if you feel like you're in a position to do that, you can go ahead and click on that Patreon link in the description and check out my Patreon and see the kind of content that's going to be going down over there. Probably even more uncut stuff. I have pre-recorded stuff for the Patreon channel. And it's pretty great. It's actually me like at the beginning of this. I got a whole other project that I'm working on that I'm going to invite you guys into on the Patreon and only tell you guys on the Patreon. So, thank you again for watching. Thank you for tuning in. And until next time, peace.